Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Ryan on Listen Up. Ryan, on this Saturday, just prior to reaching noon. And how does this feel saying this? The last check-in of the season. So there you go, Ryan. We'll send it right over to you very quickly. Quick 10, 12-minute last check-in of this game coming up tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And that would be the UConn women's basketball team is facing the North Carolina State Wolfpack, Ryan. I know that you have a lot to get down into to preview this matchup, and then we will give our prediction, like always, at the end. This will be at the Reynolds Coliseum, Ryan. So the first road game, the first official road game for the Huskies in 23-24. I know I caught some interviews of different players, different coaches, especially the North Carolina coach. I saw that this morning. I caught an interview of that. So I'll talk about that a little bit, but I know that you want to talk about this game, a big one. And I'm sure the North Carolina State head coach mentioned, Ryan, and I loved it, how he brought this up. This game is on ABC. You know, unfortunately, not a lot of women's basketball games are on ABC this season, but this one is. So that gives us a chance, right, to see the UConn Huskies show up definitely under the prime lights, if you will.
Yeah, this is a pretty big last check-in video with it being a nationally televised game. Yeah, and Wes Moore, he always has a good squad. It seems like he always has his team ready to play. I saw Gino mention this is such a tough team to match up against. They have a really good system. I was surprised to see they weren't ranked to start the season because, like I said, Wes Moore usually has a pretty good team. I know they lost a couple players to the draft and graduating. But nonetheless, I was still surprised to see they weren't at least ranked in the top 25. But Wes Moore has led this Wolfpack team to an NCAA tournament appearance each of his 10 seasons. He's been with the team starting his 11th this year. And NC State started their season with a blowout win, just like UConn did. What stands out to me with this NC State team at first is their guard play. Aziaha James started the season off with a big bang, putting up a 26 spot against Charlotte.
Bang!
Big bang. Sanaya Rivers, Madison Hayes, other two very talented guards in the starting lineup. Very consistent with scoring, passing the ball, and moving on to the forwards. Team with a lot of size. River Baldwin stands at 6'5". Mimi Collins, former Maryland Terp, entering her second year with the NC State Wolfpack, standing at 6'3". And then off the bench, you still have a lot of size. Senior Lizzie Williamson, 6'5", and then two very talented freshman forwards as well. Mallory Collier, 6'3", and Maddie Cox, 6'2". So obviously, like I mentioned, this is a team with a lot of talent. They always do have a pretty good squad. Consistent guard play, very tall presence down below, has kind of been Wes Moore's system to success for most of his years that he's been coaching this team. But I don't think UConn's really going to have a problem when it comes to dealing with NC State's size. With all the talented guards we have here at UConn, I think they're still going to find a way to score the ball. I think Aaliyah's definitely going to have her hands full down low. I would expect to see Aubrey and Ice come off the bench, not only to get some height out there, but also for their defense. I still think Aaliyah's going to have a pretty good game, still with her having her hands full with all the size that NC State has. A nationally televised game on ABC. I think this is going to be a great game to watch. A lot of talent, both sides of the ball. Obviously, very, very, very good head coaches, very good at what they do. So I'm definitely excited to see this one.
I should know this. Did Ayanna Patterson get any playing time at all in the season opener?
I don't think she did. No, I believe she was out for that game.
All right. So I wanted to bring that up to you because I caught a interview of Gino. I caught that I don't know when it was, a couple days ago, and they were talking about size. When he saw these women, the UConn women line up for the national anthem, one at practice. I don't know. I guess there's a preseason game or whichever game it was. The size factor. He said, not taking anything away from anybody else, but he said, man, Ryan, if we could get Ayanna Patterson back, to complement Leah Edwards down there in the paint, he said that would look like a really good basketball team all of a sudden as far as size goes, right? So keep your eye on Ayanna Patterson, because I don't know when we haven't received, I don't know if you do, we haven't
No.
received any updates as far as when she is going to return. So I don't know if you do. I don't know if you have any updates rather, but keep your eye on that, because that's going to really give us a boost, a shot in the arm, if you will, right? If Ayanna Patterson can definitely make a return, and a big one, to say the least. But she doesn't have to put that many, as far as the depth, because there's so much depth. We don't have to expect big things out of her right away, but I guess she's dealing with that injury still. And but keep your eye on that when Patterson makes her return. I get it possibly could be tomorrow.
Yeah, it possibly could. Usually the news doesn't come out until a couple of hours, or possibly tonight we might see something, but I haven't seen an update on Ayanna still dealing with that knee injury, I would suspect. And yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why I suspect or I expect to see a lot of Aubrey Griffin and Ice Brady coming off the bench, and possibly Amari DeBerry too. But hopefully she can play a little bit better than what we saw her in the debut game. But having Ayanna Patterson back would definitely help UConn against NC State in this game. But obviously having Leah Edwards down low is definitely going to help out a lot. Hopefully she can, continue this role, this unbelievable role that she's been on. It seems like she hasn't had a bad game in about 2 years now. So yeah, hopefully Aaliyah can handle her own down there inside the paint.
All right, time for comments. Ryan, Gary Roundtree, being real high, like you guys, and both of you talk good basketball. I am still concerned about DeBerry, where she stands with the other players on UConn, why she is the tallest girl on the team. I really feel for her.
Yeah, I've said this before. I still get kind of a little shocked when Amari comes into the game, just because of how tall she is, and she's always seems like the tallest player on the floor when she does come into the game. But it's still a mystery. I don't think anybody really knows what to expect. I think all we can hope for is just that she something clicks and she eventually figures it out. It's still, we're only one game into the season, so I think she has a lot of time to still figure some things out, I think, within the system, and kind of what Gino expects to see, for her to get more playing time, coming off the bench.
Aaron Davis never left you guys. Well, we love to hear that. But I just take a back seat sometimes, like Ryan, huh? Sometimes so others can comment, and sometimes I get responses that make me not want to comment, mostly on other channels. Thanks for announcing my comment about Grandma Sales. It's more than wins, it's family. UConn family, that is. Go Huskies. Sorry, Maryland, you're going down. Great job, and move to Connecticut and be a Husky. Correction, don't move to Connecticut. Laugh out loud. NCAA sports are good. Ends there. Well, I can tell you, Aaron, by the time Ryan and I are in the car all that time together, Ryan may want to take a back seat. I might be talking your ears off too much, Ryan, on the way up there next week.
Yeah, I might have to go to the back for a couple hours and put in my headphones, just drown out for a little bit. But no, speaking of the Maryland game, I saw there's only like 500 some tickets left, so I was kind of expecting it to be a sold out crowd. So like I said, the atmosphere for that game should be incredible. I know we're both excited for it.
Okay, how about one more? I am a huge UConn women's basketball fan, but I have to be fair. Paige does not belong at number 3. And if you look at all others, they base it off of 22 and 23 stats, and she has none. The fair thing should be start her off the chart and move her accordingly.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that. I mean, I think she deserves to be at least in the top 25, but I think number 3 was a pretty generous ranking. But she definitely has proved that she deserves to be at the number 3 spot. I think it's just that we haven't seen that level of play because of the injuries, unfortunately. So, like she said, she kind of got her bad game out of the way. I only expected to go up from here, hopefully getting more and more minutes. I kind of expect to see her play a lot in this game as far as all the starters go against NC State. Not really expecting a blowout, but we'll just have to see how the game goes.
All right, keys to watch, Ryan, and what's it going to take for UConn to win this game and your prediction on Listen Up?
Yeah, like I said, I think this game is going to be pretty close. I think NC State keeps it close because of their size. A pretty, pretty balanced team. Doesn't really make a lot of turnovers, fouls. So I think this game's going to be close, and I kind of expect UConn to pull away a little bit after halftime. I'm going to go definitely a closer game than Dayton, obviously. I'm going to go 83-69 UConn over NC State.
All right, yeah, I think as long as that depth continues to roll, I would like to see another game with points off of the bench, to be honest with you. I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything bad about the starters, that is, but I would like to see Gino rotate them because I think you're going to need it big time against the Wolfpack. And I'm seeing right now why freshman Ice Brady will play a huge role. Yeah. And keep your eye on Patterson too, Ryan. I don't have any updates on her. Hopefully people will comment away and hopefully we hear an update prior to the tip-off tomorrow. I'll go 80-65. How's that, Ryan? 80-65. UConn women wins it against North Carolina State. So, Ryan, as I log off for the day and enjoy the weekend, we will say a goodbye to you, and we will be right back here with you guys tomorrow evening. Ryan, welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina on ABC at 3 o'clock. It's North Carolina State and the UConn women going head-to-head, Ryan. Phil and Ryan, listen up.